There was a time when humanity believed one thing with certainty. That knowledge, once shared, would never be lost again, because the internet was supposed to remember everything. But that belief is not entirely true. Some history does not disappear. It becomes harder to find. Not erased, not destroyed. Just quietly removed from view. Take the Library of Alexandria, one of the greatest archives of the ancient world. We know it existed, we know it held vast knowledge, but we do not know what was lost inside it, because most of it never survived into the modern record. Now move forward in time, to the Dead Sea Scrolls. Discovered in the 20th century, they changed what we know about ancient religious history, but even today, parts of their interpretation remain restricted. Some fragments are unpublished, not because they are gone, but because access is controlled. This is where history changes its form. It is no longer destroyed by fire or time, it is shaped by availability. In the digital age, erasure looks different. It is no longer physical, it is systemic. Experts call it algorithmic suppression. Information still exists, but it is pushed downward, hidden beneath layers of relevance, ranking, and repetition. And then there is something more subtle. Digital decay. Links break, archives move, servers shut down, citations lose their source. And over time, what was once public knowledge becomes untraceable. Not deleted, just unreachable. And here is the critical shift. For most people today, if something is not visible on the first page of search results, it does not exist in their understanding of reality. This is not conspiracy. It is behavior. Human attention follows visibility, and visibility now defines truth. There is another divide we rarely notice: physical history and digital history. Physical history survives destruction. Stone remains, ruins remain, artifacts remain, even after thousands of years. But digital history depends on maintenance. A server failure can remove thousands of documents. A broken link can erase entire chains of reference. A policy update can restrict access instantly, and so knowledge becomes fragile, not because it is false, but because it depends on systems that are constantly changing, and sometimes history is not removed, it is fragmented. A discovery is mentioned, but the images are gone. The original paper is inaccessible. The supporting sources are no longer linked. What remains is incomplete. And incomplete information slowly replaces full understanding. This is how modern history changes. Not through deletion, but through reduction. We are living through a transition, from physical preservation to digital dependency. And dependency always creates vulnerability. Because knowledge that once lived in stone now lives in systems that can be updated, rewritten, or reorganized. So the question is no longer, what was deleted? The question is, what has quietly become harder to find? Because history does not always disappear. Sometimes it simply moves out of reach. And when that happens, truth does not vanish. It fades. Until only what is visible is what remains believed. And that raises a final question. One that cannot be ignored. If visibility defines truth, then what are we no longer seeing, without even realizing it?